HexBox 1 has left the nest. I repeat, HexBox 1 has left the nest. Too much of our stuff is hidden away in cloud servers, in data centers, and things that we don't control. I'm building HexBox, which is a product designed to bring all of that back into your home. Imagine if you could run your own email server, your own web server, and backup things that are stored into the cloud onto a hard drive in your own home. That's the whole goal here. Make something transparent, make something that people can understand, put it in their house, and if they want to put it in a microwave, forget it. Let's get into this week's progress. Here we have the PageKey data center. We got HexBox 0, but HexBox 1 is in someone's house, and today we're gonna look at upgrading that boy from far away. I'm gonna push a software update. Someone's gonna pull it in without me leaving this wonderful home. Meanwhile, HexBox 2 through 10 are over here waiting for you, my friend. So please go to tryhexbox.com and sign up for the waitlist for when these are available. Well, let's talk about our architecture here. We have a lot of stuff going on. There are two main repos that currently drive HexBox. We have Hex, which is the CLI, it's the orchestrator. It's intended to be very, very general. And then we have the UI, which makes it usable for the average person. This eventually could drive everything. This is more of just user interface to keep things moving. Either way, they're kept separate, but they are both building and pushing to my private GitLab that I host myself. The big update this week is that I changed them to also, when they do their upload, go ahead and put it on gitlab.com in a special repo that I've created. I wasn't sure how to do this for a while. I thought that I had to make these public. Eventually I might do that, but not really ready for that yet. So this seemed like a good solution. Both of these guys are uploading to gitlab.com. So they're not public, but I am baking a GitLab token into the HexBox. That gets baked in. That is, leaking that token, effectively making this semi-public. It's security by obscurity, which is not perfect, but eventually these will be public anyway, probably. So good enough for now. I have my HexBox imager, which creates an image, and this is how we get that plug and play functionality where you just plug the box in and then you open your browser and you're good to go. This guy creates the HexBox that's in the field, and then the HexBox in the field now has an update script on it from this guy. And that update script goes to gitlab.com, downloads the latest package onto a temp directory on the HexBox, and then it runs a little systemd service, and that restarts the UI service. Even if we overwrite the original executable, we have to restart the service for that to take effect, because we have to clear out the memory. That's a lot of technical jargon. Enough whiteboard, let's get into action. We're gonna create a HexBox, I'm gonna take it to someone's house. If my updater works, I can just leave it there, and then I can just call somebody up on the phone and say, yo, get the latest, greatest updates, and run with it. So that's that. Let's get into the real stuff. Okay, I'm gonna ship this version right here, which looks like this. And at the bottom here, it says, 32 gig vault. Like, this is all just bogus placeholder. And then let me show you the new update. This is gonna come with it, and then we're gonna update to the new update as a test. Post update, we're expecting to see something like this, where it has a UI version right at the bottom here. So let's image this guy, send it over, and see what happens. Okay, the image is written, and there it goes. And since we're basically gonna waste the rest of this plastic wrap in the corner here, why don't we try sealing this guy too while we're at it, just for fun. All right, beautifully sealed. Toss it back in the box. You also need the power supply, of course, and the Ethernet cord's already in there. So we'll throw the getting started guide in there. That hasn't changed. Got our pull here now, so that's good. Now we can shrink wrap it. Yeah, if it gets too thin, it actually splits. So this is open, not very waterproof, but it's good enough. And we're ready to hit the road with this thing. There you go, yep.
Ethernet cable.
Yep. All right, now you got a system app. See if you can run the update. Give that 30 seconds. Oh, there we go, it worked. UI version 1.7.0. Now hit check and see if that actually works too. Oops, that's wrong. 0 is wrong, but the UI version might work. Let's see. 1.7, that's good, and print some logs. That's good, we're good. And this guy can stay right here this week. Time to do a live update remotely for the first time ever. So at the bottom there, it says UI version 1.7. CPU, that's a bogus number. Status secure, also a bogus. So if you go to system, click on system. Now hit the update button.
Okay.
And now hit run command. All right, we can take a second here and let it run for a couple seconds. All right, that's probably good. You can refresh the page. Or actually, you can hit the check button.
Hit check.
Well, I would refresh the page first and then hit check. Sorry. Yeah, hit check and hit run command. 252 looks good. UI version 1.8. Let me check my notes. Yep, that's correct. Okay, you have the latest version, just like that. Now hit back to dashboard, and we do. It's loading. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Yes, it worked. Woohoo! Exciting.
You're there, man. That was quick and easy.
Big celebration.
Very good.
Well, thanks for being a part of this test.
No problem.
That's all for this week. If you want to join us and take back tech, go to tryhexbox.com, hit join the waitlist, and I will keep you in the loop. Thanks so much.